The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
All day, baby, all day.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Back him up.
Kenny Young coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals.
Here you go, 368. Everyone, 37's the Mike. Mike 37. Hey, Alpha. I'm about to take you, snap.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the slant.
Jackson now. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's our time, guys. It's our time.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Watch the run. 2 by 2. Move. Check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. Right here, right here.
Dalton here from the gun. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Matt Judon drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Returnable for Grant. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A 62-yard punt return. And the Ravens have taken the lead. A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is, can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a 1st down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Here we go.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Mixon. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On third down, Dalton. And he's got Snead. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Watch this. Here you go. Can.
On second and 11 now. Dalton, he'll let this go for the end. And this is going to be intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. On second down, a run with Breida. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Now Jackson on first down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Let's get off the field. 43's the mic. 43's the mic. Bound to lose one. 43's the mic.
Jackson from the shotgun.
Go, dude. Let's go.
That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. That one good for 26 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Boy, the run on first down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Now on 2nd and 16, Jackson, screenplay, Johnson. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Fourth down, here's Jackson. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Carl Lawson, and that will force a turnover on downs.
Hands up, Lee! 96! I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
A quick throw now complete to Ross. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1 yard gain. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Lee! Get ready, get ready, get ready.
On 2nd down now, Mixon. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Third and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Let's go.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start. But, boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Now Joe Mixon, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
Check. Lucky. Regular. Go.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown.
I'm going to hit you all
Ryan Switzer, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Bullock good on the extra point, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, You're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And this from the parking lot, from an even 70 yards out. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
He's going to float this one deep right. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin. His first touchdown on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Again, it's Mixon, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. That good for 19 and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Right back to Connor here on 1st. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Dalton. Open man is Ross, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 34-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, Connor. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
48. Nice. Hey, seam 6. 48's the mic. Check. 48's the mic. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Operating from the gun, Dalton. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 13-yard line.
48's the mic.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. From the gun, Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals.
Hey, exit.
Operating from the gun, Dalton. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 21 yards there on 3rd down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Running from the gun, Johnson. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down.
Check the backer, check the backer.
Throwing is Jackson. He's going to air one out. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Now, this was still going to be a one-score game either way, but still, that's a potentially harmful miss here in the fourth.
It certainly is, because if you consider that now if they give up a touchdown, they give up the lead. So he might be getting the side eye by the defenders coming out on the field now as he goes back to the bench after that miss.
That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point fourth-quarter lead. And they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Here you go. 93, 52, 93, 44, 44.
First and 10 for Dalton. He completes it to Tate. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
Let's go.
A gain of 15. First down, Bengals.
Ha. Lead. The 48 right now. Let's go. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Now Dalton with a first and 10. Flush to his right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here you go. 368. Bravo.
Throwing again. Dalton. Flushed out right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. James Conner, the running back, his intended receiver. Third down here.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter, got to feel pretty good as a defense.
Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up fourth.
Randy Bullock on for the field goal. A 42-yard attempt.
Bullock's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
On second and 11 now. Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Geno Atkins got home that time. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he's stopped behind the line by this Bengals D. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Let's go now. The mic. This is Pittsburgh. The mic. All day, punk. 2-6. 40.
This time, Jackson will throw it. Got a man. It's Brown. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. He may try and run for this. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now this time he'll look to throw. And the catch made by Johnson. And he will force his way forward for a yard or 2, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
43's the mic. 43's the mic.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31. It's a great throw right there and really showed a lot of confidence in his receiver.
He certainly did. Ball was in the air a long time, but he counted on the adjustment that we saw near the end of the play. As that ball was descending, who was going to come down with it? He counted on his guy, and he gambled correctly.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
You're all mine. You're all mine, baby. Get this. You're all mine.
Jackson to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
You got nothing. Nothing. 43's the mic. 43's the mic.
Throwing now is Jackson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Just like that. Hey, Zoo!
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that, because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Back to throw. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
Single, that's single to slot, Regular.
Dalton wants to throw. Able to find Switzer. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
368! Hey, check 24. X3, 218, chopper. Regular. Hey, wahoo! We're going 37's the Mike 37. Blue Dan.
Big spot, Andy Dalton. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Green 18! 6-man. Check curls. Nice. Hey, Charlie! Focus, defense, focus. And we're going 37's the Mike 37. Oh, yeah.
So now Dalton.
Here we go again.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas.
And that one? Oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
On first down, here's Breida.
Run.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Check, 43.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Yeah, baby.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they